There's a specific silence that falls over a market just before the realization hits. It's not peace. It's a held breath. Look at the headlines. Venezuela, Greenland. The narrative is national security. They call it a muscular restoration of order. But I say, nonsense. This isn't a defense strategy. This is an imperial margin call. The United States isn't fighting for freedom. It's seizing assets to feed a $38 trillion debt. We've moved from being the world's policeman to the hemisphere's landlord. You have to understand the math. A nation carrying $38 trillion in debt does not engage in diplomacy. It engages, well, in extraction. That is where the herd got slaughtered. They piled into so-called safe havens, gold, silver, platinum. They bet on American weakness. They forgot the lessons of history. Unlike the British Empire in 1956, there's no one left to call the margin loan on America. Look at the charts. The metals didn't soar. They collapse. Why? Because the empire isn't losing. It's looting. When the ledger is broken, friendships are liquidated. We're living through what I consider to be the golden age of fraud. You don't need a spreadsheet. You need theology. Because sin is lawlessness. When a governing body severs itself from its divine archetype, that is sin. It loses its capacity for law. The law becomes a fluid weapon used to seize what it covets. How do you survive this? You don't eat from the king's table. Yesterday, the church celebrated the feast day of St. John the Baptist. He lived in the desert not because he was poor, but because he refused to be fed by the consensus. He was a sort of angel of the desert, wired to detach from the noise and, see the truth. In capital allocation, you need that same wiring. You must be willing to be exiled to the desert. While the herd chases the war trade, we track what happens when you follow the math. We measured the gap between the crowd's safe havens and the super investors' desert. The difference? The difference isn't margin. It's a chasm. The empire is expanding, to be sure. The bill will definitely come due. Do not become the collateral that feeds the debt. Because the desert? The desert's waiting.